So a lot of people are saying that season 4 of The Boys is probably the worst season. And like I agree, but honestly, I still think it was kind of good. So basically, like looking back at season 4, it was actually like a filler season, you know? Like I don't know if I've ever heard or seen a filler season before, but that's basically what it was, with each character going through their own internal conflicts, you know, like Butcher trying to uphold his promise to Becca and protecting Ryan from Homelander, but since he's dying because of the Temp V, it creates a obstacle for him, you know. And there's also a lot of political conflicts too with Vicky Newman and Bobby Singer. Shout out to him, the GOAT. And Homelander's descent further into madness, you know. All the other characters are going through their own shit. Um, I'm not going to get too much into it other than just like recapping what's happening to who, pretty much. So Huey, obviously, his dad is dying, and his mom comes back years after she left them, and they have their own shit, you know. Marvin has conflict with his family. His daughter is getting older and starting to be like him, and obviously, him and his wife or ex-wife don't want that. So there's, you know, Frenchie with. Okay, now the Frenchie thing, I'm not gonna like again, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but like for me, it kind of came out of nowhere. Like I knew Frenchie was a freak, you know what I mean? But I mean, I didn't know Frenchie was bi. You know, I didn't. They kind of threw that out of nowhere. Maybe I wasn't paying attention to when they introduced Colin, but I don't know. It just kind of came out of nowhere. And obviously, we know what Frenchie did to Colin and his family. You know, even Kamiko with her shining light liberation. You know, and how like there's another girl there that she hurt. You know, even like Starlight with problems against Firecracker and like her pregnancy. You know, even with the soups, like the Deep, bro, like the Deep, man. I mean, he's freaking cheating on his squid slash not it's not squid. I think it is an octopus. He's cheating on his octopus wife with Sage, who I'll get into later, and like, bro, that was like, man, that was so weird. Like, come on, bro. Even like the new Noir, who's talking, trying to deal with being Noir. He almost leaves, but the Deep convinces him to stay. That's freaky shit right there. Ashley too. She's kind of like dealing with, should I leave? Should I stay? Be loyal? Same thing goes for A Train. Like he's helping the boys even though he's still in the seven. Okay, and then we get into the two new characters in the into the seven. You got Sage, who is her power is basically being super smart. You know, Homelander thinks that she can help him, so he lets her into the seven. And then there's this other soup, Firecracker, who, hey, you know, she's cool. Her friend though was a freak. You know, shout out Rob Benedict for, yo. When I first saw that, I was like, yo, what is God doing, bro? Well, whatever. And like I said, Firecracker and Starlight's beef is kind of insane. You know, if you watch the season, you know why. But yeah, also Jeffrey D. Morgan. I knew he was gonna be in the show. I just didn't realize it would be season 4. Him being Joe Kessler and yo, that twist with Butcher finding out that Joe Kessler isn't even real, that is all in his head, was crazy, man. Like we knew Becca was all like we already knew that him seeing Becca was in his head, but at the same time, him seeing Joe Kessler, oh my gosh, bro! Like Joe Kessler is basically the devil, and Becca is basically the angel on his shoulders. So yeah, and like obviously, it could have been obvious to other people, maybe. Like I don't know, but obviously, you know me, like I was just so immersed that like I didn't even see it coming. Like I kind of did. Like when Ryan flew to Butcher's place, and then Joe Kessler popped out of nowhere after Ryan left. It was like, where did you come from? Were you just waiting outside this whole time? I was like, but it was in his head. Yo, that's insane. And obviously, Joe Kessler is like an alter ego, where like he goes crazy. You know, when he killed Ezekiel with his whatever, we didn't know at that point. But yeah, Butcher's going insane. And I don't even know if like Joe Kessler is like a symbol of Butcher's intrusive thoughts or like just it being a temp V talking, you know? I'm not gonna get too much into that because I don't know. And oh yeah, Ryan just being in the middle, trying to figure out if he should be with his father, Homelander, or Butcher, his mom's husband, basically. Like, it's tough. I mean, I like him not really making a decision and staying in the middle kind of pissed me off. Like, I know he's just a kid, you know, even though he has superpowers. He killed his own mom because of the love triangle. I mean, pick a side kid. And I said earlier, like, the Deep, his sorry ass, you know, like, he actually did get better. He got more badass. He took command. He took action after he killed his octopus wife, pretty much. And he helped influence Noir to stay and be loyal to Homelander. And just to wrap things up on Noir, I don't really know what to think about him, like the new one. I just think that the OG one kind of dirty. And yeah, fast forwarding to the end. Okay, before I do that, Butcher had kidnapped Vicky Newman's basically husband, or at least baby daddy. You know, cut his leg off and like try to convince him to make the virus because he was working on a virus that could kill. I don't know if it was specifically Homelander at first, but at least like just a virus that kills soups or something. But then it ended up being like too dangerous because it could have been like pure genocide. Like any, like I don't know if it was global genocide or just like in the U.S., but like it would have killed every single soup in the world pretty much if they got in contact because it would have been airborne and you know all that. And that was crazy. That was a clip I saw before I watched the show, and I thought it was gonna be something. Fast forwarding to the end now. Wow. When Butcher killed Vicky like that, I don't know what to think, man. Like that was just like it's one of those things that kind of came out of nowhere, but like it made sense somewhat. He had beef with her. They all had beef with her until you know at the end she was like, you know what, I'm scared. I'm gonna help you. But then obviously Butcher like killed her, literally split her in half, bodied her daughter, at least knocked her out, and basically like the shit that he got going on, and obviously like I feel like that confirms that Joe Kessler is an alter ego of Butcher because like he literally told him, you know what, take over. I can't do this anymore. And then he took over. Literally, tentacle came on his chest, you know, did that. And then he just walks off after killing her, like, bro. Like, yeah, just, like, he says something along the lines of, like, you're welcome, you know. Like, man. And then at the end, with Homelander finding out that Soldier Boy is in a box sleeping, that made me hype because obviously that means he's gonna come back season 5 along with the reunion. I keep bringing that up because you know my prediction for season 5 will be a separate video, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and like the freaking the the joke that people think that make like season 4 is peak, and then they show the peak or like the season, and it's just Homelander telling a guy to jack off in front of the crowd. It's like, bro, I saw that and I was like, oh shit, here it is. And I'm like, bro, like I get it why people are like, bro, what is that? Like, what's the purpose of that other than to just like push an actor to his limits or something? You know, he probably obviously didn't take out his dick, but like in general, maybe he did. I don't know. Oh yeah, I think Ryan did kill Mallory too. Like he pushed her, knocked her into a wall. She either passed out or she died. And I think that's when Butcher told Kessler to take over. But anyway, yeah, that's probably gonna be it for this episode. Season 5 will be coming, and yeah, like and subscribe if you enjoyed my take, or dislike if you didn't. Whatever. But yeah, see y'all.